You know, I'm happy that Mr. Srinivas M, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Shivamogga Smart City currently and expected to be the CEO of Bangalore Smart City, is with us. He was a bit busy, but we managed to pull him out from. He has a board meeting this afternoon, but I said, please come and talk to the guests because it's streamed live and it's good that people understand the vision and perspective that he has. These are practical ideas that they would like to implement in Bangalore, and we all know that Bangalore is growing at breathtaking pace, and therefore technology and solutions are much needed and need of the hour. So with these few words, I hand over to Mr. Srinivas M, and he will talk to you what they have already done in Shimoga and probably what he plans to do as he's here. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Srinivas. I'm the General Manager and Chief Operating Officer of Shivamogga Smart City. I'll be moving to Bangalore Smart City in the coming week, actually, and we'll be taking care of various developmental works here. So, thank you, Mr. Jose and the entire team for giving me the opportunity to come and share my ideas and views with you all. And good morning to you, everybody, like ladies and gentlemen. So basically, I just want to give a different perspective on smart cities. Basically, smart city limiteds, like the SPVs, are formed in India. So there are about 7 smart cities in Karnataka. So Bangalore, Mangalore, Belgaum, Hubli, Dharwad. Then we have Shimoga, Davangere. These are all the smart cities which have been selected. So basically, these SPVs are formed because the regular corporations, the existing corporation like Bangalore, Brihat Bangalore Mahanagara Palike or Shimoga Corporation or Davangere, they are unable to handle additional works related to technology or planning or anything like that, as they're already overloaded with civic and infrastructure related works and developmental works. So SPVs have come in handy. Their role is also very limited. They are time bound. Their role is specified to bring in technology, to bring in innovation, to bring in new perspective as an additional thing to the existing capacity what is being done by the civic agencies. Various civic agencies are there in every city. So basically, we are time bound. We are financially also, our parameters are defined. We know what is the overall budget we have. So we have a limited role to play. It is not that, so you must have seen a lot of critics telling smart cities have dug up here, they've dug up there, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, all that. But that's what I want to clear a bit also. So we have specific agenda to bring in technology into the civic infrastructure. So what we are trying to do is, if you have seen overhead cables to be converted into underground cabling system. So when we try to do that, we have to do a lot of coordination with whether it's BWSSB, whether it's BESCOM, whether it is so many other civic agencies. And our role is specific to CBD areas and city specific areas. So while we try to implement these things, there are a lot of challenges which arise. These pipes are 100-year-olds, 50-year-old. If you try to change that and you have to go for another tender with another agency. So in smart cities, we have paid other agencies to get the work done. We have identified even the contractors to work with them and things like that. So it's a very, very challenging area as far as civic infrastructure is considered. That is where you must have seen a lot of critics coming in. Okay, but still we are trying to do smart roads, which is one of the major components in smart cities. So almost all the smart cities are doing smart roads. So what does a smart road include? Basically all the cabling going underground, and also yesterday I was seeing Cisco and other people were telling about. So technology like smart street lighting, smart poles, integration of various technologies to measure pollution, and then intelligent traffic management system. intelligent solid waste management system, intelligent public transport system. So various things like this we are trying to adopt and we are trying to implement. So this is one of the major things. So when it comes to urban planning, see, we have done again specific interventions to develop certain parks, certain conservancy lanes. In Shimoga specifically, I will show you in my presentation. So conservancy lanes which were very dilapidated, which were in very, very bad condition, which we have converted into kids play areas, parking spaces, and various other activities, you know. So place making activities we have done there and things like that. We have developed about 100 conservancy lanes in Shimoga already. So this is bringing a lot of change in the way people work around, people move around, people live in that area. You can see a lot of people, women coming out and playing with the kids and things like that. You know, a lot of stakeholder participation is already happening there. So that is on the other side. So again, our budget and role is limited to a particular, if it is 500 crore, it goes into roads, development of parks, development of conservancy lanes, development of heritage buildings, so like that. So remaining, what is that we are trying to do? So I'll come to the technology part of it. So in the technology part of it, one major development is integrated command control centers. So which is operational and already been implemented in Shimoga. So basically, an integrated command control center has, it has a big video wall which have an access to all surveillance cameras in the city. So we're working very closely with the traffic police and other police departments. So they come in and sit here in our integrated command control center and manage this entire thing. You know, across the cities we have put radar-based surveillance systems. So if you have seen in Bangalore, you must have seen the traffic police holding this thing near airport to catch the people if they are doing speed violation. But in Shimoga, we have already implemented radar-based surveillance system. So about 2 kilometers, so about 12 of them we have implemented. So for about 2 kilometers, we not keep anything. Right from the integrated command control center, we are able to monitor the speed detection of every vehicle, and then we are able to issue challenges and also identify automated number plate recognition systems we have. And even in case of any emergency, terrorist activity, we are able to capture the entire photograph of the vehicle with the number plates. So it has multiple opportunities for us to devise, and also to check the congestion of vehicles, movement of vehicles. When it is like we can get data which can be analyzed and utilized to implement in the future for the traffic management. So also intelligent traffic management system is another thing where signal synchronization, all the traffic signal synchronization is there, and apart from that we have ambulances. If you want to meet green corridors, we also have the control of that. And apart from that, solid waste management. So all our solid waste management tippers and vehicles are having now are fitted with the devices, including attendance, including vehicle tracking, including the weight measurement, automatic weight measurement of the solid waste tippers we have already implemented. So we are able to have effective control and also monitor per day collection of the solid waste in the city, the efficiency, the time taken to travel, to pick up the waste and to dump in the dumping yard, and further so on and so forth, what is to do. So these are all the things which we already implemented. So we are also doing about 90 smart bus stands. So again, they are integrated with the command control center. So we are able to give real-time arrival and departure of the buses for the our citizens. So like this, we have different aspects which have already been implemented in the ICCC. So technologically and smart poles, about 10 smart poles we are already implementing in Shimoga Smart City. So the first one pilot, in fact, day after tomorrow it is being implemented. So it has all the devices. It has a display, it has pollution monitoring system, it has emergency announcements, it has light dimming facilities. So all the features, about 12 features are included in that smart pole and things like that. So what I am trying to say here is that Smart City Limiteds have a specific role, time-bound project. Within that, one is bringing in technology, bringing in new perspective to the city's infrastructure development. These are the two parameters what we're implementing. By next year, you will see most of the smart cities having implemented all this, and you will see the overall perspective, how it helps. And what happens next after the smart cities program is completed. So this will be handled by the civic authorities, like BBMP, for example, in Bangalore. to take it forward and go ahead and have this particular unit, something like smart city unit, to take all these things forward. So this is my brief perspective, what I wanted to talk to you all about. So any questions or anything, I'm around. So we can discuss in detail, because smart cities I can talk for hours. It's not about just for a few minutes. And few of the new challenges also I would like to inform you people. There is something called streets for people, transport for all, and then cycles for change. These are the new 3 initiatives the Government of India has given us, which again we are already started implementing, which in detail I will share with you all when I discuss with you in person. So
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas. Wish you all the best as you take on the new assignment. And you are here till lunch, no? Yeah. So he's here. So those who would like to connect with him and meet him, especially some of the mobility startups, Pothole Raja and all the Charger and so on. See if you can connect. He will be in charge of Bangalore Smart City. That announcement is today at the board meeting, but you can meet him earlier. He's there till lunch to see in which way you can collaborate and work together to enable the charging infrastructure and move to a more sustainable mode of mobility.